So working with parts times two means start with two parts, just two parts. There's the real you, which is everything above neutrality, and there's the wounded you, which is everything below courage. There's the real you, or your best self. I don't even always want to say your best self, because it's like, do I always have to be my best self? Well, I mean, that sounds great. It sounds awesome. But what about if I could just be my whole self?
Oh, my sister, it is time. Stand up.
My real self, all of me, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and be okay with me. Accept my whole self. Accept my bad and ugly. That's where we get into the higher levels of consciousness. Are you willing to try to be your best self, but can you accept yourself as you are? It gets a little, but it's where the magic happens. In any case, working with parts times two means you're just talking to your client and saying, but who is this part of you? Who is that? Who is running the show right now? Well, she's wounded. How old is she? What is she feeling? Tell me about her. What does her anger feel like? Just talking about things, really voicing them, you'll be surprised that sometimes you think, I've got to be so brilliant and give these incredible interventions. And then you realize you don't. You just need to listen and actually know where she's at, meet her where she's at, validate what she's feeling, and tell her about the map of consciousness and how this is where you're at. And it's okay. We all have the full range, but now we're going to push higher. And the higher we get, we'll actually get access to your real self, which is your golden self. If you think about consciousness, you were born enlightened. Let's just say that, like a little baby. If you think about a baby born, if you think about the map of consciousness, Dr. David Hawkins says like enlightenment is at the very top. So I know we might think, well, but you're born pure. And what I mean by pure is you haven't been wounded yet. When you're born pure. You don't have any bad stories about yourself or about life or about anybody or anything. You're just born like golden. And then something happens and you kind of are like, not feeling at peace with that. Because peace is right under enlightenment. So then you would be like, I'm not so at peace with what's happening here. This doesn't feel very peaceful. In fact, what if it's abusive? What if it's hard to feel joyous? Hard to feel a lot of joy if you're in an environment that's toxic or abusive or unhappy or angry. So then you give your power a little bit more. Hard to be really happy and laughing in this family, but I still love them. Now we've fallen down into the level of love. I still love them. Okay, I know, but it's my mom. I have to be reasonable. I'm giving more power away. And then, okay, well, I just need to accept her. Like, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So then something else happens, and then you're like, okay, I just have to be willing to try. And then something else happens, and then you're just like, okay, I can't give any more to this. I'm neutral now. And then something else happens, and it falls, and you feel like, God, I have to have a lot of courage to be in this family. I have to have a lot of courage to make my dreams come true. It's not easy. I'm not up there in the love anymore. Everything is hard. I have to have a lot of courage. I better have some pride and dignity if I'm going to survive in this family. And I'm angry about that. You see how you just keep giving your power away? You don't even know it. Then you fall into like, I deserve better. I have dreams. I want a better family. I want more love. Now I'm falling into desire. What if I never get it? I'm so afraid I'm never going to get the love I was born with. I'm now actually telling myself the story. I am so afraid I'm never going to get the love of who I am. Like, what if I never take my power back? Then that falls into sorrow. I'm so sad. I given all my power away, and I feel sad that of the could have beens and the should have beens and the ought to have beens. And then we fall even lower into like apathy. it is what it is. I don't know if it's ever going to change. I just got to take what's been given to me. And now I'm apathetic. And I actually feel guilty for wanting more. And I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed that I'm not enough. I'm so ashamed that I gave my power away. I'm so ashamed that I wasn't enough to be loved. I'm so ashamed that I came from people who didn't see my goal. I'm so ashamed that I'll never be enough. Okay, so what if we then walk it back up? Okay, so then I know that I felt a sense of hopeless. I need to take my power back, and I'm going to have to grieve the could have beens and the should have beens and the ought to have beens. And it's scary to actually think I'm going to go back out there in the world right now at this point, this age, who I am right now, you right now, who you are, this age, everything you've been through. I'm going to have to work through some of that fear of what are they going to think and what's going to happen. Because you know what? I still have desires. I'm still alive. And as long as there is life in me, I'm going to get back in the game. And I'm so angry that I gave so much of my power away, because guess what? I have pride and dignity, and I always deserved better than this. And what would courage have me do? Courage is going to have me get back into the game and take back my power and live my life from a place of love like I always should have, and I deserve to. And neutral is just like, yeah, why have I given so much power away to these people? Neutral is just like, oh my God, I didn't even realize I had 8 holes in the bottom of my ship. My mom, my dad, my brother, my sister. And my entire life has been trying to scoop the water out. Who has energy left to go do the thing you say you want to do? Neutrality is plugging the holes. I got to plug the holes in the bottom of my ship. I can't keep giving my power away anymore. I can't be in this boat constantly bailing out water just to stay afloat. I have to unplug from all those beliefs, their stories, their crap, that stuff, the stories I've told myself, the stories I've believed. I'm just going to pull the plug on all of this. And if you were willing to get back in the game again for yourself, what would willingness have you do? Are you willing to accept that you might never get their acceptance? Can you be reasonable anyways? Don't you deserve that? Don't you deserve your own love? And suddenly you've taken back your power and you're back up there with, I'm resonating in love again, like I was when I was a little girl. And I'm having a lot more fun. This is where the magic happens. I'm laughing more. Oh my God, I catch myself laughing, smiling. Holy, I actually have peace of mind. Oh my God, am I enlightened? Holy shit, I'm like Jesus now. There it is. That's the story we're all in all the time. Giving my power away, plug the boat. Oh my God, dumping water. Of course you're exhausted. You're not making things come true. Because what is draining you still? Neutrality is, where do you need to plug the holes?